I think we're good to go. All right. So just to do introductions, I want to thank the team from PropAcademy, who is basically not just, presenting, but co-hosting with us today on the webinar regarding compliance education on the PPRA. It is in association with Corporate Training Unlimited. The two companies work closely together, as PropAcademy is one of our main faculties. And yes, it was decided to host this webinar today because it is an in-demand topic. And my role will be to facilitate the questions and to guide the discussion, where Courtney, Sasha, and Charlotte are representing the experts on the topic. So it is wonderful to have them here. And I'm pretty sure everyone's going to get quite a lot of value from today's session. So let's get right into it. So, Courtney, I'm actually going to start with you. So in your experience, which PPRA compliant topics are the most crucial for practitioners, and how can they effectively integrate these into their professional development? Let's start there.
Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I'm seeing so many clients. It always makes me so excited to see you here taking advantage. Thanks, Karlien, for the question. So to keep to answering that, it's actually quite a short answer. I can't rate a certain topic less crucial than another. So all the compliance is crucial. From entering your industry and achieving your goal, not only the PPRA compliance rules, but also FEEC, SARS, etc. What you need to remember is we're dealing with somebody's biggest investment that they're going to probably make in their life. So we need to be extremely professional about it and compliant on all topics.
Fantastic. I also forgot to mention to our audience, we are going to take questions. You're welcome to post them into the chat. If we don't get to all your questions today, the PropAcademy team will reach out to you regardless. So please be patient with us. We do have a lot of attendees in today's session, but please use the chat to engage. We're not going to unmute or allow cameras today. So if there are any direct questions, that can be addressed in person with these lovely ladies after the session, hopefully before everyone goes away for Christmas. All right. So just wanted to break for that point. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the discussion. So let's discuss the journey of a real estate practitioner. What are the essential steps and educational milestones that are needed for someone to transition from a candidate to a property practitioner? But also I'd like to know about the transition to becoming a principal practitioner.
Perfect. So can you see my screen, Karlien?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so I just thought this would be easier for this part of the conversation. And what I am going to do is I'm going to stick to the basics. Okay, and as Karlien said, if there's something else that you need discussed or something that you've heard that doesn't make sense, please, that is what we are here for. So just reach out to us, because everybody's profile is so specific. Okay, we had regulations released in 2008, in 2013, and then 2019. So it depends where you fell into the puzzle. What I'm going to do now is just show you very basically, because there's a lot of confusion around this topic. So I'm going to show you very clearly exactly what needs to happen. So when you enter the industry, you become a candidate. Okay, you enter as a candidate. Now, for your first 12 months, so from start to 12, you're going to compile your internship logbook and your NQF level 4 in real estate. Okay. In your second 12 months, you're then going to compile your PDE4. So that's an open book exam that you're going to sit and write, be it in a venue or online. It just depends what the PPRA are doing for that exam. So once you've done that first 24 months, okay, your logbook, NQF4 and PDE4, that's all done in 24 months, you jump from a candidate to a property practitioner. That is where you want to be. Now, if you're going to stay as a property practitioner, you just need to carry on with your CPDs every year, okay, which is changing for 2024. So keep an eye out on all of our webinars that we'll be hosting, because I will be doing another one like this to explain CPD. Now, if you wanted to become a principal, so then you want to take your next step, you're going to do your NQF level 5. Your NQF 5, you can do as soon as you have your NQF 4, which a lot of people get confused about. They think they have to do logbook, NQF 4 and PDE 4 before they can do NQF 5. That is not correct. If you have your NQF 4, you can start your NQF 5. Okay. So now what's going to happen is you're going to have your NQF 5 and all the steps before. So you can either just sit with your NQF 5, but if you want to open up your own business, or if you want to be a principal in somebody else's business, then you're going to register as a principal. Now, the last bit is once you are registered as a principal, you're going to write and pass your PDE 5, and you only have 2 years in which to do that. So many people want to just do their PDE 5 to have it behind them. You can only write your PDE 5 if you're an acting principal. So as soon as you've registered as a principal, you've got 2 years in which to write and pass that. Okay, and if you need any assistance with these courses, what we've done is if you look at them on our website, before you purchase each course, we'll give you a quiz that you have to pass in order to purchase. And if you're feeling uneasy, please just give us a shout.
All right, we don't have any questions yet, so I'm going to move on to our next topic, which is understanding RPL, recognition of prior learning. Could the panel maybe shed some light on the concept of RPL? If you work in academics, you should be familiar with it, but otherwise it is a concept that a lot of people might have heard but haven't spoken about. How does it benefit practitioners, and what are the key things that they need to know about the specific process?
Okay, thanks. That's actually such a popular question, because when you go on a website, you'll always see, you know, you can buy the NQF 4 or you can buy the RPL 4, and what is the difference? Okay, so we're going to discuss for 4 and 5. So first of all, the benefit is that RPL has been designed to benefit practitioners that have been actively involved in the industry. Okay, so it speeds up the process of getting your qualification, because you're not learning as you would in an NQF 4, but you're actually providing evidence that you understand the industry, and you're putting that into your course. It does take half the time to get an RPL done if you actually are experienced. So a lot of people try to take it for the wrong reasons, but you need to have recognition of prior learning. Okay, so I'll get into that with you now. Things that you need to know is that you have to qualify for RPL. Okay. We've recently had a group, it wasn't our company, but that the SSETAs had to throw out because there were about 300 people that had done RPL, but they didn't qualify. They actually needed to do the full NQF qualification. Now, with those people, they have to do the full NQF qualification all over again. There's no fixing that. So it's very important that you ask the right questions when you're purchasing an RPL of any sort. Okay, RPL is not easier than the NQF. Like I say, it's based on your experience. So if you don't have the experience, it's going to be harder. Okay, when you complete an RPL, it's going to take about 3 to 4 months until you're completely found competent. So now, say you need to do your NQF 4. So you've looked at the list I showed you earlier. You've got logbook, NQF 4, and PDE form. And you say, okay, but do I have to do my NQF 4 because, you know, maybe I've been in the industry for 2 years, for example. So with our NQF 4, we work on a basis, and then our assessment center will accept if you qualify. So if you're going to do NQF 4 and you've been in the industry for longer than 12 months, you know majority of the real estate tasks, you're up to date with legislation and training, and you've got proof of your training, then you can apply for RPL 4. Okay. If it's RPL 5, you need to have held principal status, you need to have managed an agency, and you need to have full knowledge of the trust account. Even if your company is not holding a trust account now, you need to know the importance of a trust account. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind. If anybody in the audience thinks that they qualify for RPL 4 or RPL 5, or if you want to check, then we'll post the links now in the chat box, and you just click on it, you complete it, and then you'll be able to see if you pass. It tells you straight away if you're going to pass or not. Okay, proof of experience for your RPL 4, you know, we're going to ask for evidence. So we're going to ask you for anything that you would have done in your duties. We're going to say to you, for example, supply us with this mandate, supply us with evidence that you're doing your job. And we can also supply a list to you. Okay.
I'm going to post the links very shortly. I actually see we've got a couple of questions, Courtney, and I'm going to read them aloud. We do have a little bit of a slight technical difficulty with Charlotte not being able to access the chats, but I'm going to read some of them. So I'm going to start with Justin. And again, we're going to answer them based on relevance. So Courtney, you can just confirm if these questions will be addressed either later or now. So Justin says, hi all, thank you for hosting this valuable webinar. Great initiative. I have a question. If I held a valid FFC as a principal from 1998 to 2014, have an NQF and now hold a valid FFC 2023, do I need to write the PDE 4/5?
Okay, so Justin, thank you so much for starting off on a kind note there. So I have with your profile, I will straight up tell you I'm not going to give you advice like this. I need to see, if you don't mind sending me, I don't want a copy of your FFC because the new one doesn't have the FFC number on it, but I need your FFC 7-digit reference number, your ID number, and your surname. And then I'm going to post my details into this, and I'm going to let you know. But I can tell you that if you haven't already been exempted against your PDE 4 or your PDE 5 and you have a cross, there's no getting away with it. Now you have to write your PDEs. But I still want to have a look at your profile. Okay.
All right. Cherian, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but they're asking, is the NQF 4 a specific certificate, or can any certificate work as long as it's an NQF 4?
That's a very good question. Thank you. So your NQF level 4 is in real estate. So we just, so we do real estate qualifications and courses. So this is an NQF level 4 in real estate. So that is what you will need. If you have an NQF 4 in another qualification, with our procedure that we've shown you now, it will not assist you with any sort of exemption.
So, all right, next question is from Priyanka. If we have been exempted from NQF 4 course, does the exemption expire? We are actually getting to exemption soon, so we can maybe hold off until that. But I will read the question regardless. If we have been exempted from NQF 4 course, does the exemption expire? Do we have a certain amount of time after receiving exemption to write PDF 4 exam?
Okay, so 2 questions there. So does your exemption expire? No, it will not. And the second, so with that, please just make sure you have your exemption letter framed on the wall. You do not want to lose that, because we don't want your profile to be reset by the PPRA when they change something and then poof, it's gone. Okay, so keep those letters that you get and keep those emails that you get from the board. And then your second question there was with regards to, do you have a certain amount of time? Yes, you do. So from your issue date on your first FFC, you've got 24 months in order to complete up to your PDE 4. Okay, so remember your first 12 months is your logbook and NQF 4. So you would have done logbook and exemption. And then your second 12 months, you got PDE 4. So you've got to make sure, Priyanka, that in your 24-month period, all of those are marked as competent on your portal.
Okay,
but you can't write the PDE 4 without having your competency in your logbook and in your NQF 4 already. Okay.
And then the next question is based on RPL, which we discussed just a little bit earlier. What would be considered proof of experience for RPL 4?
Sasha, you're welcome to chip in here.
And that's from Nicolene.
Okay, so proof would have to be on your PPRA portal. You'd have to show that you have been registered for over a year and you have been practicing. So once you do your RPL4 and it goes through to SSETA, that's something they want to see. So you'll have to take a screenshot of your PPRA portal showing that you did join an agency before 12 months prior.
All right, awesome. I think that's our questions for now, so we can move on to the next topic of discussion, which we are going to focus on exemptions, which is our next part. So let's open that discussion. What steps in the educational process can practitioners be exempted from, and what are the criteria that determine these exemptions?
Cool. So everybody loves an exemption, but also a lot of people, which I'm really proud of, have decided to rather take the route of getting qualified so that they've got the knowledge to build this career for them. It's always good to know what you're exempt from. So from 2008, they released rules for us, and then again in 2013, and then again 19, which I've mentioned. Now, every time that happens, you'll start seeing the gentleman that messaged us earlier, he had a principal status for quite a few years. You'll start seeing that, oh, but they told me I didn't have to do this, but now I have to do this. So it does get a bit confusing, and I do understand. That's why I say, let me look at your case one-on-one. Okay, but for exemptions, only ones that are left, because they've all been struck off. Okay, if you wrote the old board exam, that's no longer going to assist you. There's a lot of exemptions that have been struck off, but what currently stands, all right. So if you had an FFC prior to 2013, then you would have been exempted against your logbook. Okay, that is it. There's no extensions on the logbook or anything else. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now, if you have a higher qualification, so if we have somebody mentioned earlier on NQF level 4, if we had NQF level 6 or higher, and if you're looking at an NQF 4, you need to get your NQF 4 done, but you say to me, but Courtney, I have a LLB. Okay, so what you need to do for an NQF 4 is look at your certification and see if it's an NQF level 6 or higher, that you studied for 3 full years, and that you've got SAQA credits for it. And if that is the case, then it's really simple. If you go on our website under RPL, exemption for RPL 4, then you'll just do a quiz and it'll tell you straight away. If you've got the right documents, it'll tell you if you're going to pass or not. And then for those who are looking for the exemption against the NQF 5, then you need an NQF level 7 or higher. You need to have studied for 3 years with SAQA credits. Now, the way they pick up those 3 years is by asking you for your transcript for your studies. So you have to have your transcript. They're not going to look at the subjects. It doesn't matter what you studied, which is very important to understand. All they're going to look at is your start date and your end date. And if that's 3 years or longer, then you can qualify. Okay, but it's always important to look at each individual profile. And I'm also just going to get a link put on here for the exemptions. And you can do a test on it while we're in this conversation. And it will straight away tell you, don't rush it, read it nicely so that you know that you really do have all of those documents. And then PropAcademy can also assist you with your exemption.
Sorry, the links have already been shared, and you'll see that we've categorized the links according to the courses, NQF courses, RPL talk, and the exemptions as well. So please have a look. If you can't access them, just let me know. I can drop them again anytime. Courtney, we have 2 more questions before we move on to the next topic of discussion.
Sure.
So I've completed my logbook. This is from Liziwe. I've completed my logbook, NQF 4, RPL 4, waiting on results of the PDE 4. I would like to know which will follow between RPL 5 and PDE 5.
RPL 5 will follow. So you'll do your NQF or your RPL 5, and then after that, once you're a principal, then you will look at your PDE 5.
Right, and Carol asks, have you done? I have done my NQF 4 and received my certificate. How long do I have to write the exam?
Okay, so what I'm going to just do is I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so if you have a look, okay, over here, if you've done your logbook and your NQF 4 in the first 12 months, you've only got the second 12 months to write and pass this PDE 4. Okay, so you've got a tick by your logbook, a tick by your NQF 4. You look at your FFC issue date and you put 24 months onto there. And by then you should have ticks by logbook, NQF 4 and your PDE 4. Okay, these are the time periods over here, 12 months, 24 months. And then these, because these aren't compulsory, these are optional for if you want to become a principal, the NQF 5 and the PDE 5. We've just given estimates as to how long it will take you to own your own business.
Thank you so much.
I did see a question about the logbook and if we assist with the logbook. And yes, we do. So all of our course, these aren't all our courses, but the courses that we are discussing today are also on the screen. You can see logbook, NQF 4, RPL 4, PDE 4, NQF 5, RPL 5, and your last step, PDE 5. These are our standard prices, but in December, we do know that everybody struggles because your kids come first and they need really nice presents for Christmas. So we have managed to bring prices down as we can until the 15th of December. And you can either start immediately, which is how PropAcademy works. As your payment reflects, you start straight away, or you can delay it until the 15th of January. And that's just a once-off we do every year.
I've also screenshotted that list of courses for the group as well, in case you can't remember what was shared. Grant's also asking, can you do PDE in less than 24 months? PDE 4, sorry.
You can do PDE. Very good question, Grant. Thank you. So if your logbook, first of all, to write the logbook, you need to make sure to write the PDE 4, you need to make sure your logbook and NQF 4 is complete. Okay. So say you finish that WAP-BAM on month 12, because you can't hand your logbook in sooner than 12 months from your first FFC. So you hand your logbook in 12 months from your first FFC on the date. Okay. Within that time, you still do your NQF level 4. Now, I've had people write literally as soon as the 13th month ticks in, you can book the next exam. So you can book the first PDE on the schedule, write it, and you can have it as soon as possible. You do not have to wait for that 24 months. The reason they give you 24 months to complete everything is in case possibly you didn't pass the PDE 4. Okay, which will not be the case if you are students.
Here's a question of your courses. If you have courses offline, they're actually online, but you obviously, Courtney, you can confirm if there are any offline specifics here.
And our courses are all online, and it doesn't mean you just get a profile to go and sort it out yourself. We've got a team of ladies and gentlemen that will assist you. Lovely online classes, which I encourage everybody to join because you just share knowledge and you feel like you're part of a group. But the nice thing about this is PropAcademy was designed so that you can study from anywhere at any time, as long as you complete your course in the duration given.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go to the next topic. And I think, Sasha, this is your area of expertise regarding, is it pronounced SSETA or is it just SETA from the property side?
SSETA.
All right, so fantastic. So can you maybe elaborate on how SSETA's involvement impacts practitioners and the importance of aligning with its standards?
Okay, so first of all, it's important to remember that SSETA and the PPRA are completely different. So the PPRA governs and regulates real estate agents, and then SSETA falls under SAQA, which is the South African Qualifications Authority. So when you do your NQF4 and your NQF5, SSETA is the governing body that issues your certificates and allows you to comply.
Right. And let's maybe delve into the process of obtaining and utilizing SSETA certificates. How does this process work and why is it important for real estate practitioners?
Okay, so once you've been found competent by PropAcademy, we send your work to SSETA. SSETA does the moderation. They check your authenticity. They check RSS's marking. And once they have found you competent, they then issue you a certificate, which you use to update your status with the board. If you are not compliant, you don't have that certificate and you haven't complied with the PPRA regulations, you're not going to be able to earn commission. So it is important.
Right. So Courtney, this is probably more your field. And I will check, Sasha, if there are any questions on SSETA specifically. But Lauren is asking, are there any additional fees such as registration fee, admin fee, etc.? Thank you. You're on mute.
You see, rule 1. Okay, so Lauren, I have replied to you there that PropAcademy does everything up front. Okay, we're not so our marketing price is the price that you'll pay, and there's nothing added extra. So we don't surprise you with careering your file or printing everything out or finding your facilitator or assessor. We don't believe in that type of marketing to present our product. So you pay up front. That is the fee that you'll pay. If you don't have a mentor, or some people prefer to hire a mentor, then we offer that option on our website. You just click hire a mentor and it'll give you the prices. Our mentors are amazing. And then if you need to extend your course, so like I said, you can study from anywhere at any time, but if your course expires and you need extra time, then there is a fee per month that you'll need to pay, and you say to us, okay, I only need 1 more month, so then you can just go online, literally pop it in your cart and make payments.
Thank you so much. We've got a question from Babs. She's asking, if I have completed the NQF 5, does the NQF 4 automatically fall away or be exempted from NQF 4? I think she's asking 5. Thank you.
Okay, so then, and then said, I mean, NQF 4. So how's Babs? So if you've completed the NQF 5, does the 4 automatically fall away? So I'm not too sure. I'm happy to phone you afterwards, Babs, but I'm not too sure how to answer this question because I don't think I'm reading it correctly. But if you have a lot of people in the previous regulations got an exemption against 5, but they didn't get against 4. And when that happened, it was providers that were actually giving those exemptions out. And now the people are needing to complete RPL4 to get the green tick. We're not just leaving things with with red crosses. Okay, but I will chat to you afterwards as well.
We have a question from Colette. Can we obtain CPD points and a certificate for attending this webinar? Oh, that's actually a question, I suppose, for me. We can obviously share the time that you've spent, but we're not issuing certificates as this is an informational session, and it is free attendance as well. So in this case, you can obviously log your time with regards to the time you spent. Courtney, you might have more knowledge on how the property space works with regards to this.
So what you'll do is we get an attendance register to show that you've stayed on for the entire duration, and then you can request, like Colette, if you're looking for a CPD certificate, we'll send it through to you, no problem. So we'll do it on development and we'll pop it through.
Vix is asking, in general, once registered for NQF 5, how many months do you have to finish the course?
Okay, so if you're doing the full NQF 5 course, you've got 6 months in order to complete it.
Courtney, perhaps just in case we had a lot of people joining in halfway through our session, perhaps is there maybe the screen share you did earlier that some people might have missed? Would you like to maybe touch on that again, just for a second round, just in case we had a few people miss out on that?
Yes, of course. Let me just share my screen. And I do think it's also beneficial to do it twice because, there we go. Just because when I say the first time, I'm normally speaking really quickly. Okay, so you want to join the industry. So you go and you get your FFC and you become a candidate, which used to be called an intern agent. Okay, you're now called a candidate. So from your first FFC issue date, you've got 12 months in order to complete your logbook and your NQF 4. Your NQF 4 isn't strictly needing to be done in that 12 months. We advise that you do because Service SSETA can take a while to get that certificate to you. So your logbook has to be done in the first 12 months, accompany it with your NQF 4. Now you jump into the second 12 months of your FFC. So now we're between 12 and 24. In this time period, you're going to book your PDE and you're going to register for the exam. You're going to do a crash course for the exam, which is based on the past papers and questions. And then you're going to pass it. And once you've passed, you go from a candidate to a property practitioner. Okay. So once you're a property practitioner, if you're very happy working for your principal and all you needed to do was be compliant and stay compliant, then well done, you're there. And that's really, really awesome because now all of the compliance is behind you. All you need to do is keep up with the CPD. Okay. For those who have a little bit of an itch and they want to maybe start their own company or get their NQF level 5 regardless, they can start studying the NQF 5. So the NQF 5 is a requirement for people who want to become a principal. So to do your NQF 5, you only need your NQF level 4 certificate. Okay, so those first 3 steps at the top, those aren't all requirements to start your NQF 5. If you've done your NQF 4 and you want to start your 5, we get you started. So now you're going to complete your course. And once you've done that and you've got your NQF 5 certificate, you can then register as a principal. To register as a principal, you need to be on the company documents. Okay, it's not in the Act, but it is in the PPRA rules. So if you want to become a principal, and it's your own firm, that's easy peasy. You'll be on the company documents. If it's somebody else's firm, you need to make sure that you can get on their company documents. You will then register as a principal. They'll upgrade your status. And from that date that they do that, you've got 2 years in which to write and pass the PDE-5. So your PDE-4 and your PDE-5, those are your open book exams that you go to the PPRA and you write. It might be online or it might be face-to-face. Okay, your NQF qualifications are done through SSETA. So that's your NQF4 and your NQF5. And once you've got your certification, then you get your green tick and a very nice certificate with it. All right, so I just want to do one more thing, sorry.
No, please do.
Just I'm going to just give you some time periods as well. I know you can see the months here, but your logbook is a 3-month course. Your NQF4 is 6 months. Your PDE4 is a 6-week course. Your NQF5 is a 6-month course. And then your PDE-5 is a 6-week course. Your RPL4 and your RPL5, if you qualify for those courses, those are 3-month courses. Okay, so that's just very important to know, because when you're planning how you're going to get your studies done in time to comply, you can't just take, okay, my NQF4 is going to take me 6 months. You have to take into consideration that life happens. You might have a delay in your family or whatever the case is. And also getting your SSETA certificate.
We have 2 questions in the chat now. I'm going to quickly read them. So Leonie is asking, where can I get a copy of my NQF4 certificate?
Okay, I'll hand that over to Sasha.
I will share an email address with the chat of someone you can contact at SETA to hopefully get a copy for you.
Thanks, Sasha. And then Lorette is asking, I have handed in my RPL4 with Itikani Training Academy. I'm still waiting for the results. Can I register for the PDE4?
Sash?
No, you cannot. So you can only register for the PDE once you have your SETA certificate. You've sent that to the PPRA, and the PPRA have put that little green tick next to your education status on your portal. So once you have that tick, that's them saying, okay, you compliant with that aspect, and then they open up the registration for you to do the PDE4.
Thank you so much. Courtney, we've basically come to the end of most of our main discussions, I believe. Is there anything else you'd like to address to the audience before we officially conclude, maybe for some question and answering?
Yes, I just noticed that somebody had written on the Q&A chat. It's always a bit confusing between the two. And one of the questions was, you know, I'm mentioning to you, if you have an NQF level 7, you can apply for an NQF level 5 exemption. And, you know, what is an NQF level 7? So, for example, a bachelor's degree would be an NQF level 7. So what I'm going to do, just to help you out, for those who are looking at a qualification-based exemption, I'm going to just quickly pop it over here for you. Okay. And then you can have a look and see where yours lies, and then you can also just do the quiz in the link above. I have answered on the chat group so that everybody sees it there.
I'm also sharing both Courtney and Charlotte's contact details. Charlotte, perhaps you can just introduce yourself a bit formally, because I know everyone's been seeing you, and you are one of the main contacts.
I'm Charlotte. Sorry, I was going to be answering in the chat bot. I'm just having a little bit of trouble on my side. But you can gladly contact me with any queries that you do have, and we'll gladly assist you. And if you are visiting the website, it's mostly Charlotte who's going to greet you on there. So please engage with them either here or on the contact details we've shared, or just visit the website. They're very easy to reach. All right. If there are any more questions, we are going to conclude the session here now. So for those who want to leave or want to go on with their day, please do so. We are going to wait 5 more minutes to see if there are any more questions that come in that we can answer. So for those who want to stick around for the questioning, please do so. For those
who've gotten the value that they wanted. Please enjoy your day, and we hope to see you in our next webinars as well. We plan on hosting at least one webinar per every second month in 2024. So we'll keep you posted on this. Take a look at our socials, PropAcademy socials, and we'll communicate this on email marketing as well. All right, we can maybe start with the first one. Yes, Courtney,
are you in the Q&A? Okay.
Right, so I'm jumping between them. So the chat's normally the one I'm hanging on. So if you want to start with the Q&A, you can, and let me know if you want me to go to the chat.
So Raveshan, you've asked here, apologies that you had a bad connection. So you're unsure if it was covered. What about CPD? Okay, CPD is like, it's actually not a big thing, but it seems like a huge thing to everybody. And the reason is because every time a rule changes or a regulation comes out about CPD, it just becomes like spaghetti. So with CPD, if you are up to date for 2023, so your 2023 CPD needs to be updated by the end of December, which is like now for this year. And then in 2024, the CPD is changing. So, and remember, it's only going to happen in March. So for now, we have the bits and pieces as to how they're going to do it, but we are playing it safe and making sure everything is absolutely perfect before we send it out to you. And we are going to have another webinar on CPD in the new year. So if you just stay connected on our social medias and especially subscribing on our website, then you will be notified when we have the CPD. It will give you enough time to still make your payments and choose your plans, etc. And then we'll give you the correct information. Okay. And then Anne Cousin, hello Anne, if I'm doing my RPL 5, do I still need to do my CPD points? Yes, you do. Okay. CPD points have to be done on 3 cases. If you were given full status prior to actually getting your qualifications, so you've had an FFC for donkey's years, you were given full status, but you still need to do your NQF 4. If it says full status on your PPRA portal, you need to do your CPD. The second one is if you do actually qualify as a property practitioner, so your logbook, NQF 4 and PDE 4, the following year you'll do your CPD. And then, yes, from then on, that's what you'll do, whether you get your NQF 5 or not. If you registered as a principal, you just pay a slightly bigger amount for CPD. Okay. Is the NQF 5 equivalent to a diploma, Annie? I answered your question on the little chat, and I put a little table there so that you can see some of the advice that I got in the government website that will show us, you know, depending on what qualification you have, how it should be rated as a level. Okay. And then I'm just having a look here. SSETA address, please, for certificates. Sash,
it's already been shared. It's already been shared.
Is it done? Okay,
yes.
Excellent.
So
I won't look at those then.
Yes, so basically Grant's asking, can you finish your logbook in less than a year of receiving your FFC?
Okay, so Grant's a very good question, because a lot of people say to us, how can you have a logbook course that is 3 months long, but my internship is 12 months? And I'd outright say you cannot take 12 months to do a logbook. However, your question is still very valid, because you can't complete your logbook or submit your logbook before the 12-month period. So in our course, we give you all the quizzes, the knowledge, everything that the PPRA is requiring, we give it to you with online quizzes and a certificate and templates for your projects. Okay, so you'll purchase it, you'll do your logbook in 3 months. You'll keep it on your computer. There's no need to be printing our logbooks out. Okay, to keep it on your computer. And for the duration of your internship, you're going to say, oh, I just did that sales agreement, so I'm going to pop it in. Oh, we're having a golf day, I'm going to put my invite in. So you're going to put all your evidence in it and just top it up. So it's going to be like less than 10% that you're going to top up over the rest of the duration. And then on the 12-month mark, you're going to submit it, but you can't submit it sooner. People have been doing it lately, and they've just been getting rejected, and they've now printed a whole file, handed it in, and they're not going to get it back. So just submit it on your 12-month mark.
All right, then we have Lauren. Are these qualifications internationally recognized?
Yes, they are. You may have to do bridging courses depending on which country you're going through to. But yes, it's all actually in the SSETA, the SAQA document. It will talk about each country and what you'll need to do.
Right, and then we've got Karlien. Thank you kindly for the information. I completed the logbook and finally got acceptance approval. I'm in, I think, October this year. I've had several years experience in the industry. I did the quiz and qualified for the RPL course instead of the NQF4.
Sounds absolutely perfect. You can go ahead and purchase and we'll get you going.
Right. And Nicolene's also asking, my question is, do I only do the RPL4 and write the PDF4 exam? So I think that's follow up to the previous question.
Yes. So you've got to do logbook, which you've done, RPL, which you're going to do, PDE4, which you're going to do, and that's you done.
It's fantastic. Do you have any more on the Q&A, Courtney? Because for now the chats have we actually just got one now. Oh, 3.
No, I've got no more on here.
Okay. Linda's asking, where do I find the RPL before quiz? I think that's just one of the links.
I will send it to you right this second.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the screening quiz you're going to do for RPL4. It's got nothing to do with money or payment. This is just to see if you qualify for the course.
And then Colette is asking, do you know how long after we completed our logbook and NQF4 do we need to keep a copy of them? Thank you for answering both questions, one before about CPD points. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Colette. How long do you keep it for? I still have mine, and I did mine in 2013, so I'm not sure. I just get nervous and keep everything with regards to the PPRA. But you know, with regards to the NQF4 with the SSETA, as soon as you've got that compliance certificate, Sasha, you can tell me if I'm incorrect, but I would say then you're done with your NQF4 file. You can use it to help you write your exam a little bit, but it's no longer needed, in my opinion. You've got your qualification, which is registered on a system. When it comes to your logbook, it's not really registered on a system, so maybe just keep it for a while. Like I said, I still have mine, so.
So I think that does conclude our session for now, because we don't have any more specific questions. I'm sure the longer we stay, the more we're going to get. So I'm going to take this last question and we can maybe conclude. A colleague has been trying for about 5 years to sort her FFC out. Who can she email?
There we go. Speak to Tumi. Tumi is my PPRA guru. I don't even do my own name change at the PPRA anymore. It's just too much of my life gets taken away. So here we've got Tumi. He goes to the PPRA a few times a week. His fees are absolutely minimal for what you're doing. I mean, imagine spending 5 years trying to sort your FFC out with all the phone calls you have to make, the stress it causes you. Don't even bother. Just use Tumi. He's absolutely amazing, and he'll help you with any PPRA related issues that you have, opening a company, getting your CBD sorted out, whatever the case is.
Right. Okay, everyone. I just want to, from Corporate Training Unlimited and PropAcademy side, say thank you very much for attending and for joining us today. We had a great turnout and great questions that were asked to help guide our discussions. We did share contact details in the chat, various links and examples, so please make sure you get access to them. And if you don't, you can visit the website propacademy.co.za anytime, or you can just Google real estate courses and you'll find them as #1. So we're going to conclude here for now. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate your time as well and your expertise. I'm sure everyone who attended got a lot of value, and we hope we get to connect with you guys again soon.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for your time. We really appreciate it. If you are looking for a CPD certificate, please reach out to us and we'll make sure that we get it to you as soon as possible. And also, like, if you need any advice, anything you just want to confirm before you push the purchase button or anything like that, we're here to help you. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.